Welcome back to a brand new video, guys. My name is Patrick, aka Chief Pat, and today we're going to be trying out Shadowverse on my channel, which should be super exciting because this is the very first collectible card game I've ever played, and let's go ahead and dive right into it. Now, this video was sponsored by Shadowverse. If you guys want to check out their game, I do have two links in the description below for both Android and iOS. Make sure you guys go check those out. Thanks again to them for sponsoring this video, but let's dive right into this as the very first collectible card game that I've played. Honestly, I haven't played a collectible card game to date because I just didn't want to get straight up addicted, but I thought I would give Shadowverse a go, so let's go ahead and try it out right now and to see if we can do it. Now, Shadowverse has a lot of different things going on for it. I'm going to just go ahead and start off a beginner battle against a PC right now just to show you guys the basics of how to play. If you guys have never played a collectible card game before, then you're definitely inside of my boat, and if you guys have played before, you're probably going to think I'm a complete noob, and let's just go hop into it. So it's 1v1. Basically, you're going to be pairing off against your opponent. You have your deck, your opponent has their deck. You can craft your deck as you see fit, and basically what you're trying to do is take away all your opponent's life. Pretty simple to end up picking up the win. Now, starting this off, I'm just going to go ahead and redraw. I generally, you get a chance to redraw in the very beginning. You start with 3 cards, and if you have really expensive cards, if you look on the very bottom, the green is actually how many points it costs to play those cards. And taking a look at this first turn, I'm just going to go ahead and drag and drop my card onto the field. And that's basically all I can do. I can't drop my card and then attack with it right away. I'm just going to play my fairy. Looks like my opponent's going to play their fairy. And yeah, so one really unique thing about Shadowverse is after a certain amount of turns, you can actually evolve your cards and make them pretty epic. Now, this is pretty decent. We can use this card right here to kill the fairy, and then also do it puts a fairy into my hand. So I am playing this fairy deck. Let's see, playing the Fairy Whisperer puts 2 fairies into my hand. This deck is pretty ridiculous with the fairies that come out of it. So we're gonna get 2 fairies in our hand. Wait, I probably should have attacked right there. Okay, you can see I'm a little bit boosted right now, but that's okay. We still have our fairy down right now. Looks like my opponent's going to throw their fairy down as well. Basically, we're going to be swapping back and forth on cards, and as you can see, turn by turn, we get more points to do stuff with what we wish. So we have 3 points right now to play. We can go ahead and play something right now. Let's go ahead and play this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and take out that fairy, and then I'm going to go ahead and attack. I can either attack my opponent straight up. You can see it as 10 HP with the red 10 right there, or I can attack this fairy right here. I'm just going to attack this fairy, as well as I have a water fairy, which we can get fairies on fairies on fairies, which is ridiculous. And let's just go ahead and put that down right now, and that's going to be the end of our turn. All right, well, so far this has been a pretty even stalemate. Looks like he's going to be throwing down, or she's going to be throwing down 2 fairies right now, and we're just trying to load up enough right now. Okay, this is pretty decent. Let's go ahead and do this. So this Elf Guard has a special ability. If I play 2 cards before it, then I can go ahead and play it, and I gain some statistics on this card. So let's go ahead and do that right now. As you can see, it's going to get bumped up to 2 attack points, 4 defense points. So the blue is the amount of damage that it does, and the 4 is the amount of damage that it can take. Let's go ahead and go in right now and take one of these fairies out. I can't really attack with anything else because I played all of my cards during this turn. And as the battle ramps up, now my opponent can actually evolve their card. So that's something pretty unique to Shadowverse. You can evolve your card, and basically with your evolution, you can make it pretty OP. You gain a lot of stats on both of your cards. Looks like he's going to attack me. My counterattack's going to take it out right there. I can finally play this Iron Sword Maiden, which seems pretty crazy. And let's go ahead and try this out. I'm going to play that right there. I'm going to go ahead and attack this ward right here. So we're going to take that out. So the wards make it so you can't attack anything else. I'm going to evolve this sucker right here to make this maiden a beast. And that's going to be 4 attack points that we can throw down on anyone that we please. Now, I guess I'm going to go ahead. This guy is 2. He has 2 defense points, so I can't really do too much except for kill him, but I can finally get an attack onto the enemy fairy right there, and at this point, we've got a lot of cards on the field. Hopefully, that's going to bode well for us. We finally struck first blood right there. Let's keep it up and see what we can do. All right, fairies. That's going to be 3 fairies in their hand, which is crazy. He's going to actually end up evolving this fairy caster right here. I'm hoping that, I was really hoping he would go for my really beastly one I have right there. All right, we're going to get an Elf Tracker. That is a very expensive card. Wow, that's awesome. So you play this card, and it deals a random 1 damage spike twice. So we can go ahead and try that out. That's actually going to end up killing this fairy. We can go ahead and kill this fairy right here with our fairy. And then now we can go straight for blood right now, going for our opponent. That's going to take off 4 HP, 5 left onto the main opponent, and now if we can crush this last turn, we should be able to pick up this dub. Looks like she's going to be playing a ton of stuff onto the field. Goliath is going to go down very, oh yeah, he's going to be a complete beast right there. for the fact that he's going to get evolved. Looks like he's actually going to have to go ahead and attack my ward, which is going to make it so there's only 2 HP left. And taking a look at what we want to do, got a couple of different options. Wow, Fairy Madness right now. How many fairies does one person need? That's a great question. Let's just go ahead and throw these all down right now. I'm going to throw everything down. We can evolve something right now, so why don't we go ahead and... I don't know what I want to do right now. I can do... So this one has 2 HP left. I'm going to go ahead and attack... Oh, wait, I could go straight for the base right now. What? I'm going to go ahead and evolve this right here, so that's going to give me 6 attack points, and then I can just go ahead and run this straight for the base and go ahead and knock out my opponent. That's going to leave her with -1 HP. GG, well played, and that is going to do it. All right, looks like we were able to take out a computer right there on our very first match. Seems pretty nice for what we've done so far. Let's go ahead and get into a real match, though, and get into some multiplayer. Now, with this game, it seems like they're pretty generous. From what I'm reading up, they give out like tons of packs for every single expansion that comes out. Something that's really cool is like each one of the cards, you can see when you evolve it, it has a different art style, which is pretty nice. So you have like the regular card and then the evolved art, and I think there's like over 600 cards, which is crazy. But yeah, let's go ahead and go to the multiplayer. So obviously you're going to be doing multiplayer most of this time, and you can check out my deck right here, of course. And let's go ahead and get into that multiplayer in just a moment and see if we can take someone on. Let's do it. All right, we're going to try an unranked match. We don't want to ruin our elo, guys. Let's go ahead and try this out and see if we can get this dub. I'm going to go ahead and load up this battle right now, and let's go ahead and see if we can pick up this win. And here we go, taking on our first live opponent, Newbie. Oh man, this is going to be a battle right now. All right, looks like we're going to be going first, so let's get ready to play our first card. We have an Elf Tracker, which is super expensive. That costs 6, so I'm going to go ahead and swap that one out. Looks like this should be decent. We got the Sword Maiden anyways, so that's going to be okay. I'm just going to spam that Water Fairy to start and then get our Fighter ready eventually. Looks like we're going to get that. I'll play our Water Fairy to start this one. And that's basically going to wrap it up for our turn. So checking out our stuff. Angelic Sword Maiden is going to be a ward. So that means it's going to tank everything that we need to tank. We've got the Fighter, which basically just does a decent amount of damage. It's a very solid card. And then the Dark Elf right here. And whenever it attacks, it puts a fairy back into my hand. So all right, let's get this done. Let's see if we can take this first opponent right here. Wow, look at the top right, by the way. It has the battery overlay. That's pretty cool. Opponent's actually not going to end up playing anything. Let's get our Fighter down right now and see if we can make them pay. I'm going to go ahead and make my Fairy attack. Nicely done. And so far, we're stockpiling up. Now, my opponent might not have attacked because it didn't have a... it only had, you know, 1 point to use for a card, and if all the cards were too expensive, maybe opponent couldn't do anything, or my opponent is just a bozo. Nope, looks like they didn't have anything to play for that very first turn. This Skeleton Ogre, wow. That's going to be a pretty legit card right there. It's going to be 4 following right there. So looks like, wow, every time it attacks, it gains +2 attack points. Now that is a card, my friends. Now it looks like we've got a couple of different things. I'm just going to go ahead and play my Mercenary right here. Should be decent. I'm going to try to see how much damage I can do to this thing. Looks like he's going to kill my Fairy right there. And I'm going to go ahead and just attack this. I'm going to go ahead and hit that HP real quick. I don't want to attack that Ogre just to take counter damage when I can, on my next turn, I'm going to use my Mercenary Drifter to take out the Ogre right there. And it looks like on the very next turn, we're also going to end up getting our, it looks like we're going to end up getting our evolution. So we can evolve one of our cards and see if we can do work with that. All right, looks like it's still got 3 points for cards to deploy. Let's see what our opponent Newbie is going to end up deploying right here. I'm really hoping to get this dub right now. Soul Conversion destroys an allied follower and gets 2 cards. Wow, that is pretty crazy stuff. So that's going to take the Ogre off of the map. And taking a look right now, if I can evolve soon enough onto my card right here, the Mercenary Drifter, I'm going to get mad value right there. Look at all the stuff I have down right now. Now, what do I want to play? I've got the Dark Elves right here, which will be pretty solid. Decent defensive card with 3, looks like defensive points. And then now at this point, I guess I'll just throw down a Fairy right now, seeing as we have nothing else. And we can go straight for blood right now. My opponent is definitely in some deep stuff. So drawing those cards better have been worth it because they're in a lot of trouble right now. I'm going to end my turn, and that makes it so the evolution will be coming around next time I have a chance to play. So I can evolve one of my cards and just go balls to the wall and try to knock him out. Let's see if we can do it. Evolution is finally here for my opponent as well. What are they going to end up doing? I have a lot of cards right here that I can go to town with. Obviously, the Fairy is just a little bit of, you know, clickbait, I guess. And all right, looks like the Prince Catacomb gives all allied followers Yeah, all right. Well, oh, it gives out all allied followers fanfare, and then it's going to summon a skeleton with its last word. So when it dies, it's going to pick up a skeleton for him. Interesting stuff right there. That's going to be all 4 points for him this turn. So let's see what he's going to do. And I can finally evolve right now. I can also play my Treants, which I've been holding on to forever. Would be great to get something else in my Treant. So let's go ahead and play our Sword Maiden. Which just is going to be my ward with 6 defensive points. Pretty epic right there. We're going to go ahead and use the fairy to knock out my opponent right there with that. I'm going to go ahead and evolve this over here. Looks like we'll have that Mercenary Drifter. Of course, he did spawn the skeleton with the card effects, so we're going to use our knight right now. And then now we can go hard in the paint. We're going straight for blood right now. We're going to start ticking down the health points on our opponent. Only 5 little ticks left to take him out right now, and let's go ahead and end our turn, and that's going to be the end of us. Now, my opponent has to make some power moves. They do have their evolution, so if they want to evolve one of their cards, they can, but otherwise, we're going to be able to crush it right now. We've got an evolved Mercenary Drifter right now. You can see the artwork change as you evolve it, and that's looking pretty solid. One hit from our Mercenary is going to end up crushing our opponent, so got to do something good. It looks like it's going to put Mimi and Coco into their hand. Whoa! That was a pretty cool animation right there, but still, we can end up crushing our opponent this next turn, but there's the evolution. Okay, looks like with that evolution right there, we're going to have a tough time taking them out. Let's see. So when you evolve, you can attack on that same turn, even if you have played the card on the same turn. They do have to attack my ward right now, so my ward's going to take all that damage and still has 1 HP left. Beautifully done right there. And taking a look at what do we want to do for our opponent, we can actually evolve again right now. That's just going to be beastly. And you know what we can do? We can just evolve this right here. That's going to get my Dark Elf upgraded to have 4 attack points. Let's go ahead and drop that right onto our opponent. That'll end up killing the card right there, the Cerebus. I don't even know how to pronounce it. And guess what? One final attack to swag on him to go ahead and take out our opponent. GG, well played. And that's going to be a dub against a newbie. Nicely done right there, guys. All right. Well, you know, if an idiot like me can play a collectible card game, you guys definitely can as well. I don't know if you guys have played games before like this, or if you've actually played Shadowverse as well, but go ahead and try it out if you guys want to. I've got a link in the description below. I'm going to be playing a little bit of this on my twitch.tv stream, so if you guys want to check this out and see as I figure it out, I'd love your guys' feedback. So go follow me on twitch.tv/ChiefPat. And yeah, looks like we're going to grab some rewards right there. Very nicely done. Also going to go ahead and get some levels right there. Nicely done as well. A little bit of a rank up to beginner 1. Not really saying too much, but that's going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys check out Shadowverse in the description below. And yeah, that's going to wrap this up. I'll see you guys on stream. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.